once
build.
like, yeah. And Eazi's gonna build today is about the part one of the six senses of the human body, yeah. So we know that the human body's got senses, yeah. We got the smell, the taste, the touch, the sight, and the audio, and even the perception, yeah. So Easy's gonna be breaking down these six senses of the human body, yeah, in a so you can have a clearer understanding of how these things work, yeah. All of these type of breaking down of biology, so you can have a better understanding of what to buy and what to cater to when you have problems in these areas, yeah. So before I break it down, you know, like and subscribe, share out the content, yeah, because Easy's putting in that work, especially in 2022, yeah. And this content and this information needs to be pushed out there, you know. The likes need to be clicked on, you know, the thumbs up, and the share and the subscribe, you know, needs to be up there, you know. So Easy's pushing that information. So Easy's gonna break down the biology behind smell, yeah. So before I even get into it, we understand that when it deals with these senses, yeah, we deal with the sensory and the nervous, the sensory nervous system, and also the peripheral nervous system. This is all deals with the neurons and stimuli, yeah. So this is all the breakdown. When we deal with the sensory nervous system, yeah, we deal with three important components, yeah. We deal with electro receptors, we deal with mechanical receptors, and then there's also what you call chemical receptors, yeah, which is called chemoreceptors, yeah. So with the content of smell and taste, we deal with chemical receptors, yeah. Let's just break it down a little bit more clearer. So this is all chemical reactions that occurs when we deal with smell, the content of smell. So smell, yeah, I'm gonna go into a specific area so I don't get lost, yeah. But smell is what you called chemical receptors. This is how we perceive smell, yeah. And how we perceive smell through chemical receptors, yeah, is the fact that everything that you smell or inhale, yeah, it's molecules and particles of the substance that you inhale, yeah. So for example now, yeah, if it having something to eat, spices, yeah, and then you have a certain scent from the food that you're eating, yeah, especially when it comes to heated, yeah, evaporates and then it turns into smaller molecules, yeah. These molecules and these particles, yeah, and another term is odor, yeah, it's small, as what you called nanometers, yeah. So this is how you measure them, nanometers. They're very small particles, and they float and they travel where you called your nasal area, yeah, your nose, yeah. So most of these molecules and particles, yeah, get trapped by your nose hair, yeah. Not most of them, some of them, yeah, and the rest of them get travels into what you called your nasal cavity, yeah. So your nasal cavity, I'm gonna show you a picture of it because I don't have my tablet out with me, yeah. So the nasal cavity is the area, I hope you can see, I just want to show you where it is, yeah. It's when you get through your nose, family, yeah, this area here, yeah. Mind their hairs, but I'm gonna break down all of that section there, yeah. So this is where the nasal cavity is. This is where the molecules, particles, or odor travels up to, yeah. So this is the first part of where you're the first part of smell, yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna push more forward because now I draw the diagram. So the biology term of how the system works, of how you smell, is what you call olfactory pathway, yeah. This is the whole structure, yeah. Olfactory pathway, or the olfactory system. You can research and then it shows exactly what I'm talking about, yeah. So we're gonna push more into my diagram that I drawed out, yeah, and then we're gonna break down the olfactory system and how smell travels and everything, yeah. So this is the diagram that I drawn out, yeah. Hope the family can see clearly, yeah. So I'm gonna break down section by section and show how it works, yeah. So like I said, yeah, nose smell, yeah, travels through what you called molecules and particles. And example, odor, yeah, these molecules, like I said, they're nanometers, so they're very small. They travel and they enter into what you call your nasal cavity or your nose, yeah. First your nose, yeah, and then into what you call your nasal cavity. This is where But then I have to say the particles and the odor have to be volatile, yeah, volatile, yeah. So that means that it has to be potent enough for it to cause actual potential, yeah. So volatile, yeah, volatile, yeah, volatile, yeah. Never spoke that right, but volatile, yeah. So the molecule travels up through your nasal cavity, and it gets trapped in what you called your mucus, yeah. This system here is what you call the olfactory epithelial, yeah, epithelium, epithelium, yeah. So this section here is the olfactory epithelium, yeah. So part of it is where you have the mucus, yeah. The mucus is where the molecules and the particles and the odors get trapped, yeah. It travels up to and it gets trapped in. This is where you have what you call now, instead of synapse, yeah, for the olfactory system, you have what you call cilia, yeah. We're gonna break down the biology behind the chemical reaction behind cilia a little bit later, yeah. So we have cilia, yeah, in the olfactory epithelium, yeah. Within the that section here, this section here, yeah, you have what you called glia cells, or different types of cells, yeah, that helps and insulate the neuron soma, yeah. So this is what you call supporting cells, yeah, in this area here, and these are epithelium cells, yeah, epiphenal cells, sorry, yeah. So supporting cells, yeah, this is a type of glia cell, yeah, and this is these cells here, yeah, that's in that section there. And this neuron is what you called the olfactory sensory neuron, yeah. So this is the main neuron that deciphers the smell and takes it to where you call your the brain section, yeah. So this is what you call the olfactory sensory neuron, yeah. And we got the supporting cells in that section there. We got the mucus and we got the cilia, yeah. This is where the odor particles and molecule particles, or yeah, gets picked up, yeah. We're gonna break down a little bit of how they get picked up by the cilia a little bit later, yeah. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to show you it's the same type of principle that we have with the neurons, and you got the potassium and sodium pump and the different ion channels, yeah. So this is the same type of principle. We have ion channels within the cilia, yeah. So this is the olfactory epithelium. You've got the supporting cells, the mucus, and now what we have, the neuron. This is the axon, yeah, that we all know that neurons have, yeah. We have axon, the axon terminal, which has the this is where the actual potential happens, yeah, after the stimuli, yeah, and creates, and then they sends the actual potential up to what you called now the dendrites, yeah, the dendrites of the neuron, yeah. So this is how it works, yeah. As you know, we break down on the neurons before, the molecules have to stimulate the cilia to the threshold, yeah, threshold to depolarization, yeah, which of course is the actual potential that travels the message all the way up through to where you call the dendrites, yeah. The dendrites is where the neuron transmitters and the messages of the smell, the molecules, get sent to, yeah. This section here is where you call the bone part, yeah. This is what separates the nasal cavity into your brain, yeah. This is the picture that shows you the brain in between, yeah. So this is what you call the ephro bone, yeah. Ephro bone. That's that bone that separates from your nasal cavity to your brain, yeah. So with these this neuron and the contents of how we smell, yeah, is the fact that these neurons are estimated in the olfactory epithelium, yeah. These neurons are estimated to be around about 40 million of these neurons in the epithelial olfactory epithelium area, yeah. 40 million, and then you can only imagine how many cilia that branches off of the 40 million, yeah. And then it's estimated that we smell up to about 10,000 different types of smell, yeah. 10,000. That's this estimate. That's minimum, yeah. So you can imagine each neuron transmit and send a single smell, yeah. So a single smell gets pushed through, yeah. So you have different colors of neurons which detects and send different messages at one time, you know. So because neurons send one message at a time, and it's through the actual potential that shows how volatile the message is, you know. So the actual potential, the depolarization and etc., and the threshold, and which pushes the messages up, yeah. So okay, so now we got through, yeah. We got the bone, we got where the soma is. This is the soma, which we should know it's a cell body, yeah. The neuron body with the DNA and all that harbors. The cilia is similar types of structure as the synapse, yeah, that pushes the messages up, you know. Just have different ions, yeah, different they have a channel which is also called the olfactory receptor, yeah. These are all different types of channels that opens up for certain types of molecules, yeah. So that's how it works. It pushes up through the bone. So this is the nasal part, this is where the smell part, the smelling part, and this is where it travels through. This is in between from your brain to your nose, and it travels into where you call the bone fat, the brain area. This bubble here is what you call the olfactory bubble, yeah. Bulb, I mean, sorry, not bubble, my bad. Bulb, yeah. Now this is a transportation of the messages from your nose into where you call your brain, yeah. So, and it's called the olfactory bulb, yeah. In the olfactory bulb, you have what you call this big hair, this big bulb, this big circle here, which is the glomerulus, yeah. The glomerulus, yeah. Now we're dealing with a information getting converted from one neuron to another neuron. That's it. This is why that this bone structure is very important. It separates the brain area from the nose area, yeah. So when we deal with the brain area, you have a different type of neuron. If we deal with the smell area, you have a different type of neuron now. So the communication and the translation happens in the glomerulus, yeah. So the information from the smell neuron gets sent to your brain neuron. It has to be they have to have a translation part, which is the glomerulus part. This is where the information, the neurotransmitters, get picked up via the olfactory nervous neuron to what you call now is the mitral cell, yeah, the mitral cell or the mitral neuron. This is the brain neuron. This is where the information gets sent to where you call your brain, yeah, the first part of the brain. The glomerulus that's the translation of the information, and then the mitral cell sends it, yeah, and then through what you called here these long type of axons is what you call the olfactory tract, yeah. This is where the olfactory tract, this is where the information get pushed through. The same principle, you got the somas there to decipher exactly what you're smelling, and then it gets pushed straight through, yeah. This is where the entry of your brain, where this is where it goes into your brain. The olfactory epithelium, yeah, you got the mucus, the supporting cell, which is a form of glia that supports the soma, yeah. And then we also have as like an insulation. Also we have the demo bone, which separates the nose from your brain. And then we got the actual neuron itself, the olfactory sensory neuron, and it gets into what you call the olfactory bulb, where you have the ventral neuron and the glomerulus and the olfactory tract. So this is how it works, yeah. And then we're gonna push more. So hope it's clear understanding. This is like the basic understanding of how smell gets into your body. So it'll get into your brain. It's gonna break more, yeah. Build a little bit more above this board. Yeah, it's quite a big board. I bought this board the other day, but it's big, it's quite good still. So all right, now as we said, the olfactory tracts yeah, of the menstrual cells sends it through. As you can see, this is the gateway through, and then the first contact or the olfactory pathway first enters into what you call, this is the part of your brain, yeah, the midsection, yeah, the first part of your brain from your nasal. So this is at the area of the hypothalamus and your epithalamus, yeah. It's what you call now the olfactory cortex, yeah, the olfactory cortex, yeah. This is where this is where it deciphers what part of the brain to use, yeah. Yeah, so it will use, for example, now, well, the three main parts that the brain the olfactory sends their message to, their neurotransmitters to, yeah. The first one is what you called the frontal lobe, yeah. So everyone should know about the frontal lobe. If not, check out my video, break down the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe deals with the exclusive functioning, which is the position, the timing, the thinking, the you know. So that's what the frontal lobe deals with, yeah. And then we also deal with it. Also, the olfactory cortex sends a message also to you, what you call the brainstem. What's the brainstem? Brainstem deals with the autonomic system. So it has what you call the medulla oblongata, it has the midbrain, and it has the pons, yeah. These functions deals with the opening them up of and activating enzymes and certain glands. For example, like especially when it deals with the smell, yeah, the smell of food, I mean, smell of food, it will open up the hydrochloric acid within your stomach, yeah. Open up more salivary glands that that pushes out the amylase enzymes, you know. So certain factors that needs to be activated for the production of the digestive system when you have the smell getting pushed in through your olfactory cortex, yeah. So your frontal lobe deciphers exactly what you are eating, yeah. The brainstem opens up the gateways for your digestive system to make way for what's coming down, and then it also sends what you call now is your epithalamus, yeah, which deals with the emotions, yeah, the emotions, which is, and then also in that area you have what you call the hippocampus, which deals with the short-term memory. So it holds that memory of the food that you have consumed, you know, and also the frontal lobe deciphers everything and holds it within that area. So within the the epithalamus area, you have the limbic area, which deal with the fight or flight. For example, if you smell fire, you know, it alerts what you call the epithalamus area. Limbic area, the reptilian brain, and etc. The mammary brain. If your food is more of a nourishing and caring sensation that you get it from the mammary brain, yeah. So this is what the olfactory cortex of the smell sends the messages to, yeah. So like I said, the fight or flight, for if it was something like if you smell gas or fire, you know, it will send it to the limbic area. And then if it's nurturing and caring, you want a food and it feels very nice and, you know, comfortable, then it will send it to the mammary brain. This is all in the epithalamus, yeah. So this is how it works. These are the part of the brain that the smell opens up and start functioning. These three functions are the main functions, yeah. So easy broke down there, and then I'm just gonna break down a little bit more about the cilia, yeah. Cilia, similar like the synapse, where it has the sodium potassium pump, but within the cilia, I mean, you have what you called, this is how it looks. Let me just give you how it looks. I'm not gonna break it down too much, yeah. So this is all the Yeah, this is the lipids. Yeah, this is the cell membrane or the membrane. Yeah, this is the channel. Yeah, you got the olfactory channel. The olfactory, yeah, channel. You got the different types of ions. Yeah, so with this olfactory ion and channels, you have different types of ion that opens up the gateways. Yeah, so basically that's the principle behind it. So the smell, like for example, the odor smells gets trapped in what you called the olfactory receptor. Yeah, the olfactory receptor. Yeah, this is in the cilia. I'm breaking down how this actual potential, these messages get sent through. Yeah, opens up what you called another ion channel, and this is how the gateway of all this odor and the smell, because it has to be volatile. Yeah, volatile for it to create stimuli. You know, so stimuli is the form of where the actual potential occurs. You know, because it has to be there's certain types of protein that's on the olfactory receptor channel opens up and makes way for the other channels, the other ion channels, yeah, which opens up, and then it creates what you call the depolarization on the actual potential, which sends the messages all the way up to what you called your cerebral cortex. Yeah, so that's the breakdown of how you smell in the biology sense. Yeah, so definitely check it out, you know, and do your own research, like I said, and then have a little bit of a clearer understanding. But this is the basics of how we smell. Yeah, this is one of the first senses that I broke down, which is the smell, and it's of the chemoreceptors. Yeah, and we're gonna break them, which is the olfactory system. Yeah, the olfactory system is the system that the biology term of how we smell. We're going to be going to taste on the next video, but for now, make sure you like and subscribe, push the information out, you know, because Eazi does his work, and then see you on the next video. Yeah, so salute, peace out.